BSTN.
Welcome to SaaS Center. I'm your host, Mike Jones. And this is our season finale and pilot. Don't worry, we're not getting canceled. Can't get canceled when you have 155 LinkedIn followers. That's not a cancellation, that's a mercy killing. Nope, we're doing something more terrifying than ending the show. We're pivoting. That beautiful Silicon Valley word that means we had no idea what we were doing, but we're pretending that we knew this was the plan all along. Here's the truth. We built a satirical sales and SaaS news network, and then we realized we were talking to everyone and no one at the same time. It happens. So we're getting laser focused, very laser focused. We're going to be obsessively targeted. From now on, BSTN is for sales managers, CROs, sales teams, VPs of Sales, RevOps professionals who are tired of their reps ignoring the CRM, people who live and die by quota attainment and pipeline velocity and adoption rates that would make a shelter dog weep. If you're a sales leader who's ever said, why won't they just follow this process? This show is now your show. Everybody else, sorry, we still love you, but you're not paying the bills. Today, we're pulling back the curtain. It's just a green screen. I'm not really in a studio. The analytics, the failures, the wins that felt more like participation trophies. And we're going to show you where we're going next. Let's get uncomfortable. Let's rewind a bit. October 2024, someone at Supered, a process enforcement platform that makes your sales team actually do the things they're supposed to do, had a wild idea. What if we made, sponsored, whatever, a Jon Stewart-style satirical news show, but for sales and SaaS? They also said, what if we did it every single week, used real news topics, backed it up with cognitive neuroscience, injected some stuff that our ICP may care about personally and professionally, and made it funny enough that people would actually watch? The goal was not, candidly, to go viral. The goal was much simpler. 1, prove that we could be consistent, publish every week without failure. 2, build an audience organically. No ads, no paid spend, no sponsors other than Supered, the show that backs it up and that I, the host, work for. Just vibes and algorithm prayers. 3, create a ripple on LinkedIn and YouTube. Get people talking. Get Supered's name in front of sales leaders who need what we're selling. And you know what? By God, we did it. 14 episodes of SaaS Center. 2 of those were pilots. 13 episodes of Pardon the POV. 144 short form clips. 50 to 60 minutes of content written, recorded, edited, and produced every 7 days. We published every single week on Thursdays at 1 Central via YouTube and LinkedIn Live from October through January 1st, even on holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, shout out. We had guests. We did live streams. We made holiday-themed episodes because apparently a Christmas story, but make it about sales training is peak comedy. Great movie, classic. We proved the concept. We built the machine. We showed up. And then we looked at the numbers. Oh, the numbers. Coming up right after we distract you with this commercial from our friends at Supered.
BSTN. Are you tired of reps who won't follow your sales process?
There's just gotta be a better way.
Introducing the remote control for sales reps.
You know what? It actually works.
The power button ensures they're logged into the CRM. Volume control adjusts their enthusiasm. And the play button? Well, the play button ensures they follow your sales process to a T.
With this thing, I feel like a god!
The remote control. Because managing reps shouldn't be harder than managing your TV. Batteries not included. AE sold separately. Guaranteed results of 100% process compliance appeared with Super. Not available in Liechtenstein.
Welcome back to SaaS Center. I'm still Mike Jones. Let's talk data now, because if you're a sales leader, you know vibes don't close deals, numbers do. So knowing them is critical. Our YouTube views from October to January, 48,768. Not bad, right? I mean, almost 50,000 views, crushing it. New channel, new platform. 214 of those were on long form videos. 214 out of almost 50,000. 48,000 plus were on shorts. We spent hours writing scripts, recording full episodes, editing, publishing. And you animals just wanted 30-second clips of us dunking on AI failures and training completion rates. The ratio? About 227 short views for every one long form view. You remember Dr. Daniel Willingham from season 1, cognitive psychologist. He would call this desirable difficulties. He's an asshole, because I call it pain. LinkedIn numbers, 155 followers. On YouTube, 18 subscribers. It's less than a mid-sized Zoom call. It's a small wedding. 7,178 impressions, decent engagement, 328 reactions, 147 comments, but only 4 reposts. 4. Posted 57 times in Q4. 4 people thought, yeah, I should share this, and 3 of them were super employees. We're not going viral, folks. We're going local, like a food truck that hasn't found its corner yet. But we did learn a lot, and here's what it was. 1, AI-themed clips and training-related content performed. You want to watch us roast sales training theater? We'll give you a sales training theater roast. Apparently that resonates. 2, guests didn't move the needle on long-form videos, although we still believe in long-form. You didn't care that we had a guest. You cared about the guest, but you care if the guest says something interesting and is the people we want to talk to, and the B2B draft episode outperformed almost every other piece of content combined. So we know including people, whether they're actually involved live or not, works well. 3, holiday content work. Some familiarity or universal concepts work. People love nostalgia wrapped in schadenfreude. 4, shorts are king. Attention spans are cooked. Remember Dr. Herman Ebbinghaus in The Forgetting Curve? Humans are hard to attract or get buy-in from for longer than 30 seconds, and then they forget it anyway. We call it the algorithm wants what the algorithm wants. So what now? It's fair to ask. New goal, number 1, sponsor awareness. Super.io is our first sponsor. They will not be our last. If you're a sales tool that enforces behavior instead of just educating people, well, that slot's taken, sorry. But if you're any other org that wants to go on this journey with us or has a similar POV, my DMs are wide ass open. New goal, number 2, create content that actually converts, right? Pretty cliche, but not just funny for funny's sake, funny with purpose. Humor that makes you think, oh, maybe I should fix my process. New goal 3, engage the ICP directly. Form opinions on sales leaders who already established a space and a voice. Have a clear POV that isn't 100% rooted in humor. React to content from Jeremy Minor, Grant Cardone, Alex Hermosi, Josh Braun, Will Aitken, Jen Allen Knuth. Get sales leaders actually onto the show. Make it interactive, not just commentary. We're not trying to be SportsCenter anymore. We're trying to be the show that sales leaders watch and then Slack their team saying, hey, watch this video I just shared. This is what I've been saying. All right, let's talk about the new stuff, because if we're pivoting hard, right? Here's the thesis. Top performers in any profession or industry, especially sales, are only successful or only become successful because they know all their numbers and they improve on them constantly. Revenue per rep, activity to opportunity conversion, average deal size, days in pipeline, first call to close ratio. The top 10% aren't just good, they're obsessed with their metrics. The parallel here is elite level athletes. They obsess about the mundane, the minutia. They embrace and love the grind of training and practice and improvement. And we think so do top performing sales teams. They know their numbers. And that's our new North Star. We know our numbers too. And we definitely want to improve on them. We're going to introduce a new concept called Numbers Known, a podcast style interview where we sit down with prominent sales leaders, founders, operators, thought leaders in the space, and ask them for their 3 most important numbers, not 3 KPIs, 3 numbers that define them. Personal and professional. Example, a guest gives us 3, 1 million, and 13. 3, the number of kids they have, maybe their why. 1 million, the ARR they're looking to grow by in 2026. 13 being the number of rejections before they landed their dream role. We ask questions, they tell stories. We dig into the why and the context behind those numbers. because numbers do tell stories, but they don't provide the contextual layer that converts or resonates like a conversation does. It's therapy disguised as a business podcast. You're welcome. By the way, my background is in behavioral therapy, so maybe that helps. New segment 2. It's an old segment, but we're bringing it back. Fast and Furious. This is Supered CEO Matt Bullion interviewing HubSpot partners on growing in the HubSpot ecosystem. It's fast, kind of like the title implies. It's unhinged. It's pronounced like Fast and Furious, but it's about HubSpot and therefore the journey to Diamond, Platinum, Elite. Because we're clever and because the Hubvolution is still very much alive and here, and others want to hear how'd you do it and where'd you go wrong. We're keeping this one short so that people will watch it and so that we can get back to making fun of training modules. Here's what's staying. Satirical commercials, hopefully from other sponsors, but mainly from our sponsor with Supered. Because if you can't laugh at yourself, you're not paying attention and the joke is as good of a metaphor as any. Pardon the POV with Crispy Barnett and Matt Bullion, but updated with more role-specific debates. Should sales managers track activity or just outcomes? What should a new CRO do first? How should VPs of Sales prioritize budget for enablement as stewards of capital? You know, that kind of thing. What's changing? Episodes are now 10 to 12 minutes. We respect your time, barely. We're publishing every other week instead of weekly, quality over quantity. We're focusing on guest sourcing, format, retooling, branding, and not burning out in the process. We're moving away from LinkedIn Live. It was fun. You know as well as I do it doesn't work. Doubling down on YouTube, full episodes every Thursday. Subscribe. Please, we're begging you. LinkedIn becomes a distribution and guest sourcing tool. Shorter clips, more targeted. I'd say the secret sauce. We're iterating fast, right? With 155 followers, no one's watching close enough to notice when we screw up. We're going to test, break, rebuild, and try again until something catches fire. Look, we're not building for 1 million followers. We're building for the right 10,000. And speaking of iterating fast, now we transition. Our first guest for the pilot of Numbers Known is Ademola Adelakun, founder of A2 Media. He is brilliant. Take a look. We're here for a new concept. This is a pilot for a podcast, telecast, broadcast called Numbers Known. And we have no idea where it's going to go. So because of that, somebody that I admire deeply from afar for a while is the founder, president, ambassador, global icon of A2 Media, Ademola Adelakun. I mentioned to you, do you know numbers like that? Do you have 3 numbers that are specific to you personally or professionally that kind of drive your why?
So 78 is one of them. I would say another one is 40. And I can get into what these mean in a second. And then 3. 78% is around the number of people that watch your content before making a buying decision. Like 78% of buyers watch your content before coming to your sales team. 40% is the amount that you can increase time to or decrease time to close if you use video content in your funnel. And then 3 is the number of themes that you should have in your content when you post.
But 78% of buyers want to engage with video content before decision making or before they transact or before they purchase, or can you give a little more?
Yeah, before they even speak to your sales team. So we have so much access to information now that people want to shop around on Reddit. They know that your product pages and your landing pages make your product look the best it possibly can. So they want to search for anything they can find, reviews, videos that you've put out. They want to see what your vibe is because we've moved away from lack of information to completely trusting, like the trust economy. So if they feel like you're the right fit for them and they have an inkling towards that, they will scour the internet trying to find everything about you. And once they feel comfortable enough, that's when they go to your sales team to say, hey, I already know what you guys do. I just have a couple questions and then we can move forward. The idea is to make people go, when they watch your content, say, that's me, or how did they know that I needed that? And the more frequently you can do that, the faster that they will get on the phone with you, because if you know them intimately and you have access to problems they didn't even know that they had, then they're going to realize that you're the right people to be talking to because you were able to see even further into the issue that they have than they can at that current point.
You mentioned 40 as a second number, and you referenced what does 40 stand for you, just to remind me and the audience?
Yeah, so 40% less time to close using video content. Something that we've implemented for a couple of our clients is interactive video content. So choose your own adventure video. Let's say you have frequently asked questions that people typically come to your sales team for, and you make 6 or 7 videos about those frequently asked questions. And then you put a video in front of the user that says, hey, this is an interactive video. Click whatever you want to see first. And they click, well, what does your product do? And then afterwards, they're like, who's that guy? Or like, who have you worked with? If they get to choose the journey, their watch through rates shoot up to like, they complete it up to 300% more of the time.
As you said, you need 3 themes. I think 3 was like how many different themes you need to talk about. Can you talk more about that? Are you talking about 30 minutes in? I assume you're not talking about the 3 different solutions you offer, or the 3 different payment methods, or the 3 different tiers of subscription level. Is this more of a, here's the pain we help solve, here's who we are and what we believe in and our philosophy, and here's our team? I mean, what do those 3 themes look like for you?
It's around having 3 different things that you talk about. So core messages or core themes is what I normally say, because a lot of brands don't know how to go to market in a consistent way, and they don't realize that people have to hear things at least 7 times before it sticks. So with that said, if you can figure out what the 3 things you want to be known for are, and you consistently talk about those things, with some fun sprinkled in every once in a while, then you'll get pretty far in positioning. So for us, I had to pull it up on my screen over here because I never remember what they are. But number 1 is you don't need to go viral for video to work. That's a core theme of ours. You don't need a big team to scale great content. And the last one is video done right is the most effective way to drive leads. And that's more of a hill that I'd like to die on. I do believe that will become more and more true as the years go by. But for me, whenever I open up my Notion doc and I'm, about to write a LinkedIn post for the day, or, like an email to our newsletter subscribers, those are the things that I keep in mind when I'm like, I got to talk about this, right? And I find different ways to do it, but as long as that is the core message in those things, I know that give it 3 months, 6 months, if I continue to make content that surrounds that, then that is the type of people I'll bring in. And those people will already be bought into the fact that that's the way we think, and they become so much easier to work with. The right people come in if you hit on those core themes all the time.
BSTN.